computer. Okay, I am recording, and like I said before, I apologize if I get cut off. I now am experiencing Wi-Fi like Megan is very familiar with, and it just decides when it would like me to speak and when it would not. So I've been cut off many times today, and I'm going to try to make this 30 minutes so that we squeeze it all in. If I do go away or freeze, I'll have to try to jump back on, so someone feel free to just keep on talking, because it should just keep on going. So I'm sure someone will jump in for me. But so that being said, I wanted to share with you guys some of my takeaways from the leadership event that I was at this past weekend. And then next week on the Team Courage call, myself and some of the other ladies that were there are going to be sharing kind of like our biggest moments too. So some of mine might be a repeat, but it's good to hear from different people what they took away. So I was at, is called the New Leadership Conference, and they have it each January. And to go, you have to go 2-star the year before and then have a certain amount of elite points. So I can share all that information if you want to know more, but I would definitely put it, I mean, being so early in the year, I would put it on a goal board, because it was such a small, intimate event. Yes, there's 300 people there, but like compared to Summit where there's like 30,000, like it felt like really small and special, right? So that was really neat to be able to talk to people from corporate and kind of meet some different coaches. And you know, Melanie Mitro is there, so she's the #1 coach, but there was a lot of other coaches that like I'd never heard their name. There's so many amazing, you know, people out there. So it's kind of fun to start to follow them and see where they've come from and hear their story. So one thing that we had to do going into all of it was start thinking of a word of why we do Beachbody, like why we are a coach and why we are here. And, you know, just start thinking about that. And it kind of came up through the whole weekend. And then at the end of the weekend, we wrote it on our hands so that everyone could see everyone else's words and we could share with each other and talk more. And a lot of people had, you know, all the speakers and all the corporate people all shared their words during their presentations, and it was really powerful. So some of the words that people shared were that this business, like why Beachbody, what does Beachbody do for them? And some of the words were blessed, belief, freedom, joy, legacy, potential, passion, and opportunity. Mine happened to be freedom for the reasons that is why I am passionate about Beachbody. I'm not passionate about Beachbody because I love health and fitness. I love health and fitness to make me a healthier person and a happier person. But I love Beachbody and this community for the freedom that it can provide my family. And freedom is not just financial, it's time freedom. It's saying, you know, what you do, who you do it with, when you do it, like you get to be more in control of your life as opposed to working a 9-to-5, which nothing is a 9-to-5, working at, 8 to 7 or 6 to 6 or whatever is your job. Like there's no freedom in that. So that is what I fight for when I'm sending my invites and doing the things that I don't necessarily, love to do, or I'm not passionate about pushing play on my workout, but that's part of, my job, and it makes me a better, happier person. So, anyways, that was my word. So that's something that we had going on like the whole weekend. So I think is a good thing for something for you guys to think about. And I'd love to hear your word and have you share it in the team page and, think about it and talk about it more with me and your coaches. So one of the first speaker was, I'm not going to go through all of them, I promise, but was Michael Neiman. So a lot of you might be familiar with him. He works for corporate and he does a lot of silly videos. He's just a silly guy, but you'll see something from him if you haven't already. But his was about setting the bar higher, and after him was Jeff Hill, and his whole talk was about going from good to great. So they went really well together, whatever I'm trying to say. So setting the bar higher. So set a vision and a bar, always set it where you want to go. So I think a lot of us, especially coming in, don't even want to set a bar. It's like, oh, we'll just see what happens. Like you're not really like shooting for something, as opposed to coming right in and being like, okay, the first step is Emerald. I'm going to be Emerald. by the end of the month, or I'm going to be emerald in 6 weeks, like, or I'm going to be diamond, you know, like I think a lot of people draw it out like, oh, I'm going to be diamond this year. Like, that's not setting the bar very high, guys. Like, that's just kind of like, oh, I'll see what happens. And when you don't set the bar higher for yourself, you don't try harder, you don't aim harder, you don't do more, and you're kind of, you can still be good, but you never go to this great place. Like, you can be and we're all guilty of this. This is not, you know, something that me or any other person has never done. Like, I think I went all of last year being good, like being a good coach, but not being a great coach. And I'm going to change that this year by setting the bar higher. So instead of like every year being like, yeah, I'm hope to hit 5-star by the end of the year, like, no, I'm going to hit 5-star and it's going to be by summit. Like, that's setting the bar higher for myself and making me want to puke on myself every morning. So I have to do that though, because I have to go from good to great. And so to hit that goal, I can't just be good and send my, you know, 30 to 50 invites a month. I'm going to have to be great, and I'm going to have to send 50 to 100. And I can't just send invite to coaching once or twice a week. I'm going to have to invite to coaching once or twice a day. Like, that's the standards I'm going to have to set for myself and my bar. I'm not telling you guys where your bar has to be, but that's mine. And I know that I'm right at a good level, and I'm a good coach, but I want to be a great coach. Because I want that freedom. I want that word, you know, that's stuck in my mind to come to fruition, and it's not going to unless I step it up. So we talked about that. Michael really talked about mastering your mechanics, and he said this was a very big theme that came all weekend, and it's being simple, repetitive, and duplicatable. And everyone kind of got up there, you know, coaches in corporate saying, I know you thought you were going to be at this, you know, special small event and your 2-star diamonds or above, and we're going to give you the pour on the secret sauce. We're going to say, okay, this is what you need to do now to really step it up. And there was no secret sauce. He's like, there isn't. Like, and you listen to these coaches, this girl, her name, Ashley Smith is her name. And she was a speaker. All the coaches that spoke a couple times, which is nice. So we got to hear them like each day on different topics. And Ashley Smith spoke twice. She was a top 10 coach last year. I had never heard of her. And she was at this new leader conference just 1 year before. So she was sitting in the same seat I was 1 year before. And then this year she's a top 10 coach. She was, you know, 5 months pregnant. She has like a 3-year-old little boy at home. She's been pregnant or with a newborn her entire time she's been coaching. So like any excuse you could throw at this girl, she was just the sweetest, cutest little thing too. And she got up there and said the same thing, like, just keep it simple, keep it repetitive, keep it duplicatable. Like, you want your coaches to duplicate you, which means, like, if you're not posting on social media, if you're not following a program, if you're not being present in Team Ignite, if you're not adding value to the team, if you're not showing up, like, either will they. So the things that you want out of your team, like, if you want your coaches to hit Success Club, like, your name better be up there at the end of the month that you hit Success Club. And something that stuck out to me is, you know, I don't know who exactly said it, but she said, you know, if you want your coaches to hit Success Club 10, you better be hitting Success Club 20. And I was like, well, damn it. So, but if you want your coach just to hit Success Club 1 or 2, then you need to be hitting 4 or 5. Like, you need to be doing more, because there's oftentimes people, and her reasoning is oftentimes people are going to look at you, their coach, and say, well, I can't do that. Like, I can't do what Kimberly does. She does more than me. She does whatever, you know, she's been doing it longer. So if she can only get 10, like, there's no way I can get 10. So I understand the reasoning. You have to do more to see, because their bar is at a lower spot. Like, we're going to work on rising that. And guys, some of you guys I know are brand new and you might not have a coach, and that's okay, because you will. And when you have one, you're going to take care of them just the same way, because unless you take care of the first one really, really well, you're not going to be given any more. Like, that's the way the universe works. Like, you got to be faithful with the little to be given more, okay? All right, so we talked about going from good to great, and then we talked about the no secret sauce or magical moment. This was Ashley. She said it's brick upon brick. It's not a quick fix, just like our fitness and nutrition is not a quick fix. Either is this business. It's intended not to be quick money. It's intended to be sustainable money. And it's the same thing we want with our challengers and their weight loss and their fitness journey. Yes, it can be frustrating. Yes, it can be hard. Yes, you don't want to push play some days, and some days you don't want to eat right. Like some days I don't even want to look at my freaking shake. I'm like, I don't want to drink that shake today. Like I don't want to. And same thing with coaching. Like some days you don't want to post, like you don't want to rack your brain about what to post on social media. And then you just go to Megan's page and copy what she wrote, or go to Carmen's page and copy her Tasty Tuesday, like every Tuesday of my life. Like, I mean, when I am at a loss, like I have all of you great people to go take their stuff, and you can take mine. I give you permission. So we lean on each other for those ideas. But there was this, I'm nervous to show it because I don't want my internet to mess up, but on this whole topic, we watched this short commercial. You guys know I love to share my screen. Let me share this commercial with you guys really quick. It's not long. And unmute. There you go. Stop share. All right, so they showed us that, and you know, all famous athletes, and the point was
dear candidate.
Oh, dear candidate.
Thank you for your application to our ballet academy.
There we go. Okay. This was Ashley, and she said, you are the sum of all of your training. Repetition creates greatness. And anyone who's been in, I mean, Carmen, you've been in dance, like you teach dance moves, like you have to do it over and over and over and over and over. Like no one goes in there and learns the dance and goes to the competition the next day. Like that's not how it works. And it's the same thing. Like it's just repetitiveness, doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over. And we're actually in a little easier position because I have a lot of belief in people coming into this business that it doesn't matter. You don't have to have this any kind of innate talent to do what we do. Like you can learn all of it, but you do have to get up and do it every day. You do have to get better at social media. You do have to get better at invites. You do have to get better at objections. You do have to get better at leading your team. But we give you the tools. They're called the vital behaviors. Like all you have to do every day is get up and do the vital behaviors. And that doesn't take 10 hours a day. That you can do that in an hour a day, guys, an hour a day. And if that makes you a good coach, that's great. Unless you want to be a great coach, and then you might need to do more. You know, I start with 15 minutes a day, and I decided like I wanted to be better than that. So 30 minutes, an hour, and it grew and grew and grew based on my why, like that word, that freedom word, you know, like I'm excited, really excited to hear what y'all's words are. But be simple, be basic, and just continue to teach that to your team. Like, don't overcomplicate it. And then we talked to a girl named Michael Folsom, who she's fabulous too. And she really talked about, this was funny because, a lot of people might be hearing about like the wine business that's out. Like, it's a new multi-level marketing company. A lot of people are, investing in LuLaRoe. There's obviously there's lots of other multi-level marketing companies out there from the past, and there's always going to be new ones coming. And this was a big topic among the girls that I stayed with too. And like after the events, like something that we talked about, and it was nice to hear come out of like a top coach's mouth. And she said, it's not easy to build a business around building a healthy life, because we're asking someone to do something that takes work and is hard, but we're also offering something to help people be like better people. Like, I can't even put it into words what we do for people, because I know what it's done for me, so for those of you who don't know me, I've been a challenger officially 4 years. I started 4 years ago, within a week or so. And I was miserable. Like, I was on antidepressants. I would cry in my closet. Like, I had a not great relationship with my husband, which really stemmed from me, like, having no energy and no confidence and really no purpose. I am a mother of 3, but I had always like worked and been a hard worker. And when I became a stay-at-home mom, like, I just was not satisfied, like wiping butts every day. And it was hard. Like, it was a really hard transition, I think, for me, that I wasn't expecting, because I was so grateful to have the opportunity to stay home, and not because I don't really work well under other people. Like, I like working for myself. So anyways, I was in this awful place. And it's funny because I actually just messaged my coach today, who no longer coaches. And I thanked her, and I said, 4 years ago, you invited me to do this, and you changed my life. Like, I'm going to get on a call tonight with my team. Like, she never had a team. She never wanted that. She never built that. But for whatever reason, she took the opportunity to invite me into a challenge group. And it changed my life on so many different levels. So, but what we do as a business is hard. It's hard to invite into that. You're not inviting someone to, buy a pair of leggings or drink a glass of wine. I mean, that sounds like really easy to me. Like, here, you want to buy this? I mean, I think about it. I'm like, I would be so good at that. Maybe that's why people keep inviting me. They're like, oh, you like wine? You'd be great at this. But it's not easy to build a business around that. And it's something that the women that I was at the conference with talked about, how, when we sell something, we're really a service more than a product. So when we sell something, that the transaction isn't over, it's just starting. When you sell someone an all access pass for the next year, like, people you might even ask yourself, like, I feel bad, like, charging someone to do this or whatever. If you're going to give them the level of service that we expect you to give them, you earned every $70 of that all access pass, girl, because you're taking their hand for the next year. Like, you're going to listen to them, cry because they want to eat the cookie, or because they gained a pound, or because they fell off track, or whatever it is. And you are worth that. You are worth every single penny that Beachbody pays us. So, she challenged us, and I challenge you guys to flip the switch, whatever that switch is for you. You need to commit to something to take you from that good to great. So what is the switch, and what is the commitment that you need to make? Do you need to commit to Success Club? If you're getting Success Club 0, commit to Success Club 2. Like, next month, I will get Success Club 2. I will help one person. Like, look at it. You need to look at it that way. Like, how many people do I want to help? If I'm consistently helping 5 people right now, I need to commit to helping 10 people, or, whatever it is for you. It doesn't have to be Success Club. It can be commit to finishing a program. If you are just starting and you have never finished a program, or you find yourself jumping from program to program, I've struggled with this. I've suffered from this, and your business will suffer also. So commit to a program. Take your day 1 picture, take your day 21 or 30 or 60 or 90 or whatever it is, and share those. I saw a lot of pictures today, I guess because it's Transformation Tuesday, but people finishing PIO or finishing Hammer and Chisel, and they took their day 1 and their day 60 pictures or whatever it was, and they show the results. Like, you have to do that. So commit to those things. All right. Melanie Mitro did talk to us. So she's the #1 coach 3 years in a row, which no one's ever done that. She talked to us a couple times, and hers was a lot about just organization and how organized she is. And I mean, to be where she is, you really would have to be like on fire with the organization. So she showed us her Google Calendar and all this stuff. And her main thing was, you have to have business hours. Like, you have to have set out. And hers, it was great to see, because a lot of people, as they build a team, want to go into taking care of this team. And every single coach up there, every single person from corporate was like, you have to stay 80% in phase 1, which is inviting your own coaches, inviting your own customers, and taking care of your business. So when she pulled up her calendar, it was like in different colors. Like, it really made a Sapphire very nervous. I was like, oh, this is a lot, Melanie. But that's why she makes the big bucks. But then a lot of it is broken down in color, which was nice. I like that. And it was like a lot of pink, and her pink was phase 1. Like, it was called my business, working my business, sending my invites, posting on my social media, responding to people, following up to people, inviting to coaching, like, phase 1. I mean, she had her like workout and shower on there every time. I was like, oh, you shower after you work out? Like, wow, like, you were on fire, girl. She had everything on that thing. Like, I know that girl's watching This Is Us right now. If the president's not talking, like, that's what she's doing. I know what she's doing. But anyways, she was very about the systems and those sort of things. And, that's where it got her where she needed to be, obviously. And then those were really, I mean, there was more. I don't want to like go past 9:30. I want to, keep it short and answer any questions you have, really, too. But I mean, that was probably half of the speeches, and the theme of just keeping it simple, like, was the main thing that stood out over and over. Getting coaches started right in their first 30 days. There's so many options on that, but like the corporate one, like we have posted in Team Ignite too, like the first 30, they try to keep it as simple as possible, but really it's just taking action. It's just getting out there and taking action. But the stories I heard of either people that were at the conference that got to get up and talk, or these top coaches, like, no one gave their speech, including everyone at corporate, without crying. Like, I think maybe the legal guy that talked about compliance stuff was the only guy that didn't cry. And he tried to make it funny, bless his heart, because he's like, I know everyone wants to talk about the rules, right? Which y'all all follow the rules, but anyways, he might have been the only one that didn't cry. Everyone else got really emotional about the company in general, and it was great. So I want to take a minute just to, if there's any questions or things that you guys want help with, or anything you want to share, I can look in the chat because you've been blowing it up. Yeah, anyone, go ahead, Kristen.
Can I just give a shout out to Megan, who has been a coach for less than a week, who is rocking and sitting here on this call. So.
Yes, that's awesome, girl.
Thank you.
Yeah, that actually reminds me of a quote I wanted to say. Oh, let me read this. This totally reminds me of that. Micah said, first stay in phase 1. She suggested the book Grit, Grit, and we talked a lot about that. I've never read it. Have you read it, Colleen? You're in your head. Okay, it sounded awesome. I wrote down several books that I want to read based on suggestions, but I think this is from that book, but it's 80% of success in life is showing up. And I really started thinking about that right before the call, and I was like, you know what? Every week it says 15 or 20 people are going to be on the call, and there's some maybes, and we usually have 12, and here we are with 12 people on the call. But guys, that's 80% of the success is just showing up to these calls. It's just committing to every Tuesday being on here or the Team Courage call, to showing up to the National Wake Up Call, to showing up to your workout, to showing up to events. Events are so powerful. You know, like these girls going to Danny Johnson will come back, not just from what they learn at Danny Johnson, which isn't even Beachbody related. It's just about life. It's about being a better human person. Going to Summit, like going to Super Saturday, like start thinking about where you're going to be April 7th or 8th, whenever, some are Saturday, some are Sunday. But getting to those events, that's 80% of the success in this business is showing up. And I might not have like the best success story when it comes to weight loss or weight gain or getting it under control or anything like that, but I damn well show up for 4 years. Like if they're going to have a call, I'm going to be there. If they're going to have an event, I'm going to be there. If they're going to have a special event, I'm going to work to be there. So I want to encourage you guys to continue to show up on these calls. I think they're invaluable, and just to show up to the process. So yeah, Megan, I'm super happy to see a new face on here, and some faces that I get to see every week, which I look forward to. And I don't know if everyone saw Carmen's announcement, but Carmen's going to have a baby, and she's due right around Labor Day, which I think would be really fun to have my baby on Labor Day. I don't know why. That's how I'm remembering it, Carmen. So now I don't have to ask you every time. Like the last time she told me, I was like, oh, Labor Day. It's probably going to be on Labor Day. So super excited for that. She doesn't know she's going to Summit. She'll be large and in charge and hot if she's there. But she's welcome. Any other questions?
Carmen, that's not an excuse. I was large and in charge at Summit as well.
Yes.
So we'll see you there. I can't wait.
And we need a pregnant person there every year so that we can get a driver. So it's you this year. We have made it every year with one. So maybe.
So guys, I have a question.
Go ahead.
So I have a new challenger who's not on this call tonight because I haven't told her yet, or a new coach, I should say. And she really came on as a discount coach, but I noticed that she is already posting a lot on Facebook. So like I'm gradually trying to, I don't want to overwhelm her. But I am meeting with her regularly and kind of giving her like bits and pieces. Like I showed her the Coach Online office, for example. I got her set up with the, the direct deposit, like some of the basic stuff.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Even with any discount code.
So I guess like, So I guess my question now is, should I just kind of go with her flow and just wait a little bit before, to the Zoom calls before I start talking about like the Monday morning calls? Like, what do you guys think?
I think that you can give her all the information and ask her, she can make the decision like through her actions if she wants to participate in the National Wake Up Call. There's no harm in saying like, here it is. I saw you tag her in like kind of the getting started stuff. Lots of people come in for the discount, but they want to do more, or they get excited by the crowd, but she can't get excited by the crowd unless she's invited to join the crowd. Like she can't get excited about what's happening unless she's on a call like this, or she's on the call next week. Summers, all those people. Like, I think it's a good I think it's a good mix between Team Ignite small and then Team Courage big, but there's a different kind of energy, and there's obviously a different kind of level of leadership and dynamic, coming from Summer and the people that she brings on. But I do have a surprise for, I don't have it in front of me. I think it's March 14th. So our next call. So my Danny people might have to go after that, because Carrie Legault is speaking on our call on March 14th. Isn't that exciting? If you don't know Carrie Legault, she's amazing and she's fabulous and she's a great one to watch. And she's pregnant too, Carmen. So she's actually she's like really due, because then she's like, well, maybe I'll have my baby near your call. And I was like, well, if that's the case, we can cancel. It's okay. Don't worry. You can have your baby. You don't have to be on my call. So she's great though. But anyways, so yeah, I would, just give her the information. Like that's what was given to most of us. Like a lot of us say we want the discount and we decide that we can do more. If anyone is reading or hasn't read Get Over Your Damn Self, it's fabulous. But something that she says in there that I will definitely not do anymore, which I'm sure many of us have done this in some shape or fashion, where you say, oh, I just joined for the discount and I didn't do anything for 6 months with it. Like when you say that to someone, you now just planted the seed that they should not do anything with it for 6 months too. Or, oh yeah, I researched everything about Shakeology for a month before I decided to buy it. Like maybe don't say that to people, because then they're going to do the same thing. Like there's a lot of things in there I was like, oh shit, I've probably said I've said some of those things to people. But you're planting this seed of holding them back. Like you're kind of lowering the bar for them. Like, oh, you just need to do this with it. Like she might have tons of potential and a big why and lots of things. So anyways, anything else or any other questions or comments? Brittany, just scratching your head. Brittany's going to be in the wild for like 21 days, living in a tent, but she's still going to do like a push-up challenge for people. That is showing up right there, girl.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens with that. I'm still trying to figure out what the best thing will be. So
I would do something like push-ups or squats, something that you can do like with no equipment that shows, and that you'll have your shake there, and you can add value. Today was about free groups and how to add value and bring people on. Mm-hmm. So it's a good one. Yeah. All right, guys, I'm not going to keep you any later than 30 minutes tonight. So I hope I added some value to your evening, and it was a pleasure to see you. Tomorrow is March. Is that right? Tomorrow's March, right? Some of you might notice, if anyone else gets really excited, I'll tell you this and then I'll let you go. But I get really excited about volume and things like that, and something really magical happens only like once a year or less, and it's happening this week because of the way the pay period falls. Like tonight, things are going through for the 28th, the 29th, the 30th, the 31st. Like that it's like getting paid for like 12 days in a 1 week period. So you might notice that your paycheck is like bigger, or your volume is bigger, and you'll be like, oh my God, this is the biggest paycheck I've ever got. And it's like this amazing thing that only happens once a year. It's like a full moon basically, but that happens once a month. Amanda's 1 year anniversary is tomorrow. Amanda is the only person I enrolled last February, and I was so flippin' excited on the last day of the month. Guys, I had hit SC10 for like 2.5, 3 years, and I was at SC0 all of February. And this chick, after 2 freaking years, was like, I'm going to do it. I want to sign up. And I got SC2, and my favorite coach of all time. Just kidding. I'm just going to blow some smoke up your butt. I love you all. And Leslie's like, what? No, that's all going to come back to bite me. I'm just kidding. She's not my favorite. Just kidding. You are my favorite. Just kidding. No,
everybody's I am obviously her favorite. I mean,
Megan is my favorite, and she's not even my coach. So I'm sorry, everyone. You're all my favorite. I was so excited when Amanda said yes, though, for so many reasons. So I'm so grateful that you're here with us, girl. So, so grateful. I'll have to give you a big shout out tomorrow. All right. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Happy March. Bye.